Welcome to the AHA Chemistry Project. We are a diverse group of chemistry educators who propose to improve student success through an active, hybrid, and adaptive learning experience. A main component of this project is student use of the Open Learning Initiative courseware. This is highly interactive material that scaffolds the student through their learning, first presenting problems in a stepwise manner, and then removing scaffolding as the student progresses, providing feedback and rich media along the way. Instructors are given detailed feedback on student performance in OLI's Learning Dashboard, which allows them to adapt both individual and classroom instruction. The courseware also frees up class time for more active learning experiences in the face-to-face component, which is proven to be beneficial to student learning. Let's hear more from some of our team members.
General chemistry is typically the largest enrollment gateway class on many campuses. It has among the lowest success rates and the largest performance gaps between different student demographic groups, and it has been a significant barrier to students pursuing a STEM career. Our active, hybrid, adaptive approach will be implemented and investigated in multiple institutions across the state.
We will collect detailed data on student interactions with the online learning materials, employ and improve recently developed technologies to characterize the learning environment, and use advanced data evaluation tools to better understand how to optimize the balance between the online and face-to-face components. The project will collect a large amount of data on student learning in a variety of contexts and environments, which will be analyzed to provide insight into which aspects of the course are most conducive to online instruction and which would benefit most from in-class learning activities.
What ties the two together is using a high-quality, low-cost tool such as OLI, which frees up class time, not to convey information which OLI does outside of class, but to spend that time developing higher-level skills such as problem solving in a group environment, critical thinking skills, the skills of how to be a better thinker of science and thus be a better scientist. This can have long-term implications in terms of helping create a more well-trained STEM workforce and more well-informed citizens who are better prepared to respond to national needs and unforeseen challenges such as novel diseases.
One of the things I think is most challenging about introductory courses like general chemistry is students come in with such varied backgrounds. One of the things that high quality online content does is prepares those students that when they walk in the door, they all have had a chance to be equally prepared.
Underprepared or unprepared is not the student's fault. Students can't really control where they go to high school. That's where they were. This is the point where we step in and try to bridge those gaps that relate much more to sort of uncontrolled factors like your zip code rather than how much effort you put in.
The textbook itself seems to be a barrier to students. We assume students know how to read a textbook, but they've never been taught. The way that the OLI is structured, it can break down the barrier to interacting with the textbook. They have to read a little bit, then they have to do a little bit, versus just looking at a bunch of words and decoding. Just saying the sounds rather than extracting the meaning from the text.
Hopefully some of the structure they learn in this course, they can carry over to their other courses that are not in OLI. So many students don't believe in themselves and don't trust themselves. As students use the courseware, they learn how to actively read, how to actively test their understanding by doing learning exercises. Gaining these independent learning skills will not only build their confidence, but help them in all of their coursework.
In large classes, an instructor can't easily provide individual feedback to all their students. With the OLI platform, each individual student receives feedback outside of class, which is important for helping students practice with feedback, especially for underprepared students who often need more practice and more feedback.
The Learning Dashboard enables me to see where the class is as a whole on specific topics, which enables me to more directly address misconceptions in areas where a larger portion of the class doesn't quite get it.
Each instructor will incorporate OLI and implement active learning techniques in different ways. We'll collaborate together to develop materials, share ideas, work together to figure out the best practices for both the online and in-class components.
Our project has brought together a talented, experienced, and diverse group of chemical educators and a world leader in learning science, educational analytics, and adaptive learning technology to blend online and in-person instruction to improve learning outcomes and decrease achievement gaps in general chemistry courses.